And welcome to the Friday afternoon Sports Skillet live stream. We are not live from the posh but not overly ostentatious studios in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. We are live from, well, our dining room table. So that is due to the coronavirus. Everybody hunkering down in place. And we hope that you and your family and your friends are safe and healthy. We're all being impacted by the coronavirus. You may hear my dad in the background chiming in from time to time. So that's what we're doing right now with our Friday afternoon live stream. I want to take a moment to shout out Jeff Scott. He is working behind the scenes with us diligently to get our phone up and running so that we can have some calling guests. Uh, Broadcast live from our dining room table. Um, so we are right now having some connection issues, but that's to be expected as we're doing this for the first time from our dining room table. Mike Nebbia, unfortunately, we can't get him to call in. He's usually a contributor to our show. Yeah, I am doing the live stream, Mike, but it's from our dining room table. So that's the way we're doing it. Chime in with any topics you want to discuss. I'm here to answer them. That's what we're doing. First thing is on the table. Like I said, we hope your family and friends are safe and are doing well. And hopefully, like I said, within a couple of weeks, we can get the phone lines up and running so we can have Mike Nebbia call in. Skywarn crossing guard Ken call in, Joe Ippolito call in as well, and I apologize for any of the camera issues that we're having, but hopefully they will be worked out soon as well. Getting to first topic of the day, we have the official signing of Tom Brady with the Buccaneers. He is signed for 2 years, a fully guaranteed $50 million contract with an additional $9 million in possible incentives per Adam Schefter. The contract also reportedly prohibits the team from tagging or trading Tom Brady. So again, he is locked. He is signed lock, stock, and barrel to the Buccaneers for the next 2 years. They can't tag him or trade him during that time. So a little similar contract to the last one he signed with the New England Patriots, although for a lot more money. So he's getting the money. He's getting the wide receivers. He's getting the offensive support that he needs. He's also getting to participate for 8 games in Tampa Bay. Not bad. An additional 2 games in the Dome in New Orleans. So that won't be bad as well. So now you're up to an additional game in the Dome, I will say, with New Orleans. So that's 9 games where he won't have to worry about the weather that he previously had to worry about in with the New England Patriots. So
you're right, Jay. It is 10 games, but he's got Atlanta as well.
He's got Atlanta as well. See, Jeff chimed in. That's right. Atlanta plays in the Dome. So there you go. 10 games where out of a possible 16 that he won't have to worry about weather just by signing with the New England Patriots. So that could be a possible incentive for Brady, as well as the money. He's now getting the money thrown at him that he never got with the New England Patriots. Coaching, he's getting that as well with Bruce Arians, the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's getting good coaching. I'm sure the two of them will collaborate on the offense and work together to put together a really good offense. He's getting the offensive support that he didn't have with the New England Patriots. You saw him struggle with Edelman. Edelman had, I believe, the most drop passes with the in the NFL, at least last year, if not the past couple of seasons. So that will not be the case on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you look at that, and already it's a positive for Tom Brady. I know that he was rumored to go to maybe the Las Vegas Raiders. We got to get used to calling them that. I knew that he might have been rumored to go to the San Diego Chargers. So that was probably another good team that he could have gone to with some good offensive support. But I'll tell you what, with the talent that he has around him, as long as he gets some offensive production, you look at the um, running backs that he has, maybe not, the greatest group of running backs in the world, but they can certainly improve on it. Ronald Jones the second, TJ Logan right now, uh, Ware, Dixon, you know, or Ware Dixon's a safety, but you look at that, not necessarily the greatest group of running backs, but then when you look at the tight end, OJ Howard, really good tight end. You have also at wide receiver, you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. So two really good wide receivers. So he's going to be able to throw to a running back, something that he likes to do. And I'm sure, like I said, he and Bruce Arians will get together and put together the offense and everything. So it's going to be a good move for Tom Brady, and he could be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL if they put this offense together correctly. It'll be interesting to see how he plays against Drew Brees. They're going to have two games together. Jeff and I talked about this on the show that will be airing this Sunday on Fox Sports Radio 920 The Jersey. You want to tune in at 11 a.m. for that, and also download our app at sportsskilletradio.com so you can listen on the go. We're putting together a great show there. And again, also comment here on our Facebook, on our YouTube Live, or Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We love to have you comment on that. So I think Tom Brady's going to do okay in Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay, you look at what Tampa Bay had to deal with last year in terms of Jameis Winston having a 30 for 30 season, throwing 30 interceptions. Tom Brady's not going to throw 30 interceptions this year. He's just not. He's going to protect the football more than Jameis Winston. Tom Brady, I believe, will be able to throw the ball down the field. I don't think that will be an issue. The issue will be making sure that he gets protection in the pocket, because the way to affect Tom Brady is with the tackle position, straight up the middle. Tom Brady does not like to have pressure in his face. Kind of the same thing with Drew Brees. Tom Brady can move side to side a little bit. He's not, one of those running quarterbacks. Never has been, never will be. But if you can get pressure in Tom Brady's face through the tackle position, that's where, or through the guard position. I mean, that's where you want to affect Tom Brady. Right off the snap, right in his face, come in there, boom. That's where you really want to affect Tom Brady. So center guard will be key for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over these next couple of years with Tom Brady. If center guard is good, Tampa Bay is going to do well. If center guard is shaky, well, then Tom Brady's going to struggle. But I think they will put together a good offensive game plan. I think Tampa Bay probably will be a playoff team this year. Now, the big question going forward is always going to be, now that the divorce is final, who's going to do better? Will it be Tom Brady or will it be Bill Belichick? Here's what I think. And feel free to chime in, on the live stream as well, that Tom Brady is initially going to do better. He has the talent around him. He has a good head coaching. He's moved over to the NFC from the AFC, where I think he'll have a somewhat easier path to get to the playoffs and have some playoff success. Whereas in the AFC, you're going to have Ben Roethlisberger back with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're going to have an even more loaded Ravens team. You're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not going anywhere. You're going to have the Buffalo Bills, who are going to be even better. The Miami Dolphins. Take a look at the Miami Dolphins and what they did at the end of the season. They started improving. They've added to their team. They should be even better. The New York Jets. I've never been an Adam Gase fan. He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. If he couldn't do it in Miami, I don't know that he's going to be able to do it with the New York Jets. But that said, they had a lot of issues last year going forward. I think they'll be a better team. The quarterback will be healthy from the start of the season. So I think the Jets will be slightly improved. As to how much, we don't know. Um, you know, the Colts, we're going to see what they wind up doing. They've got a new quarterback as well. So maybe they're improved over last year. Some teams are making changes. The Raiders may be better. We'll have to see on that. Um, we'll see where some of these teams are, but it's going to be a tougher pass. Now, Mike Nebbia chimed in that he thinks it'll be Belichick. I think over the long haul, it will be Belichick, but over these next couple of years, it's going to be Brady, because you look at the New England Patriots and the players are leaving New England in droves. They are bailing on New England. You don't see a whole lot of people going to New England the way they did when Brady was there. You see just the opposite. Players are bailing off the Titanic. Now, I do think that Belichick is a good head coach, but he's going to be retooling. So, how long will it take Belichick to retool? And how afloat can he keep the Patriots while he retools? That's going to be the key. And while he retools, again, he's facing the Ravens. The Ravens. You're talking about, even if he does make the playoffs, having to go through maybe Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Kansas City and some of these other teams. And you got to look at the Buffalo Bills right now. They're supposed to win the division. And the key this year is adding another playoff team. Each conference will have another playoff team. That means only the number one team in each conference gets a bye. That is going to be key. One of the things that has kept New England going over this haul between Brady and Belichick has been the fact that their division has been weak and they've been able to get the 1 or 2 seed. And that has given them a bye, which means they've had fewer playoff games per year. They could rest during the bye, prepare for their opponent, and do some really good things in the playoffs. Now, with only the top seed getting the bye, unless you think that the Patriots somehow are going to be one of those top teams in the conference, and right now with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Buffalo, to name 4 teams, I don't see the and players bailing. I mean, the Patriots just signed Bo Allen. Bo Allen was a guy that the Philadelphia Eagles let go after their Super Bowl run. Bo Allen is okay, maybe, but he's not a guy that's going to be a difference maker along your defensive line. He's not. So that's the type of guy that Belichick is getting to come to New England right now. They are retooling. And so who's going to do better? Brady has a limited time span. So he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for just a couple of years. So he has a limited time span. He's going to be 45 in a couple of seasons. How long is he going to play past his age 45 years? Who knows? I think, in my opinion, Drew Brees and Brady being in the same division could be an impetus for both those guys to continue playing because if one guy retires, the other guy will have free reign over the division if the other guy decides to keep on playing. So the fact that both of them are playing against each other twice a year in the same division, have all these stats that they're going after. Uh, one does well, overtakes the other, then the other comes back, and So right now, playing in the same division, I think, uh, the two guys are going to push each other. So I can see the two of them playing for a while. As for how long, who knows? Because it is a league where you can get injured. I think if either one gets injured, their career is over. Like torn ACL, whatever. That would be the end of one of their careers. They're not going to rehab it and come back. But as long as they remain healthy, as long as their offensive line protects them, I can see them having this friendly competition within the division and pushing each other and keeping on going for a while longer. But again, it'll come down to production as well. It's a short-term contract for both of those players. So if their production starts lagging off because of the players around them, they will need that going forward. The teams will need to surround them with very good players, which they have right now. But should that tail off, then I could see maybe one of the both of them deciding to call it a career. But for right now, I think that friendly competition is going to keep going. And Brady wants to get back to at least one more Super Bowl to say that he got it over Bill Belichick. But I think Belichick could coach to his 80s. You're not going to see that with Tom Brady. So right now, I think Tom Brady's going to be more successful, but over the long haul, it could be Belichick. But we'll have to keep checking back with that, and that will be something to watch going forward. We do have some Eagles news to report to everybody. The Eagles signed Darius Slay, cornerback. They opted not to re-sign Byron Jones. I think that is a good deal for the Philadelphia Eagles. Taking a look at the career stats, Byron Jones has played 5 NFL seasons, Darius Slay 7. Byron Jones, 79 games, has started 73. Byron Jones has started a lot of them. Darius Slay has played in 103 games, has started 94. Interceptions per season, 2. So Byron Jones is averaging 0.4. Darius Slay, 19. He's averaging 2.7 interceptions per season. So you can see right there, Darius Slay is averaging more interceptions per season than Byron Jones. Pass breakups per season, Byron Jones, 43, averaging 8.6. Darius Slay, averaging 100, has 104 pass breakups per season, which is an average of 14.9. So let's take a look at Darius Slay from a more analytical standpoint. Tight windows percentage, 31%. NFL rank 4. Passes defense rate, 15.8%, ranked 5th. Air yards per target, 14, first. And completion percentage allowed, 53.3%, ranked 2nd. A lot of people were saying go out and sign Byron Jones. Darius Slay is getting a 3-year, $50 million contract extension with $30 million guaranteed. Eagles gave up 2 draft picks for him. I think it is an awesome. You look at Darius Slay is older than Byron Jones, but you look at the production, you can't argue with it. I know he had a down season last year, but he has made Pro Bowls with, and think about this, he has made Pro Bowls with the Detroit Lions. How bad have the Detroit Lions been? You know, Detroit Lions haven't been a really good team. So for a cornerback for the Detroit Lions to make Pro Bowls tells you exactly how good Darius Slay is. And the stats prove it out. The Eagles made, I know they had to give up a couple of draft picks as well, but you know what? I would rather give up the 2 draft picks and the money for Darius Slay on a 3-year deal, which again isn't that long. They can cut bait with him after 3 years if his production falls off. Um, but you could have paid a hell of a lot more money to uh, Byron Jones and gotten less production. Eagles, Howie Roseman sat back, analyzed the situation, said, you know what? I'm going to go after Darius Slay. I'm going to get the better corner. I'm going to get a cornerback that wants to be here. So you look at it, and here's a stat that everybody's been pointing out. The Eagles have to play the Dallas Cowboys twice a year. Their top wide receiver is Amari Cooper. In 2015, Slay shadowed Cooper on 20 routes. Cooper had 0 catches on 3 targets in the game. That tells you how productive Slay was against Cooper in 2015. Only targeted 3 times, 0 catches. Cowboys went the other way in 2015. 2019, last year, Cowboys played the Lions. Slay shadowed Cooper on 26 of his 30 routes. Cooper posted an 8.338 receiving line. 8 so right there, no touchdowns, only 38 yards. You know, I'm telling you, this is a guy that's going to come in and going to immediately help out the Eagles secondary. So, uh, the average per year, the average per year that the gave Slay is higher than that of Jones, but the Eagles extended his contract, which had 1 year left at 10.5 million. So really, Slay's still for the Eagles for 4 years, $60.5 million, which comes out actually. So when you're looking at it, it actually comes out to less than Byron Jones on a per season basis. Jones over the next 5 years, 16.5 mil per season. Slay over the next 4, 15.125 million per season. So you're getting a more productive cornerback on the Philadelphia Eagles than Byron Jones with the Miami Dolphins. So that's the deal. Eagles came out ahead in this. So I mean, it's just it's just and a third and a fifth. That's not a lot to give up for a guy who's going to be as productive as Slay is going to be um, in this Eagle offense. And Slay is only 1 year, 8 months, and 25 days older. So there isn't that much a gap between he and Jones. So you can't argue with this deal. You just can't. And I'm telling you, it was a great move by Howie Roseman to get Slay into the fold. And, Slay did have some problems with the former Lions head coach, with the Lions head coach during a meeting. Matt Patricia, and it had to do with a meeting that Matt Patricia had with Darius Slay and using some derogatory terms to Slay in that meeting about getting a ball caught on him in practice. And after that, there was just no way of repairing the relationship between the two. And Patricia didn't deny the comments on that. So again, it probably did take place because Patricia on Thursday issued a statement that all discussions with his players are confidential. So Patricia did not deny it. So again, you look at that and you say to yourself, the conversation probably did take place, but the Eagles reap the benefits for it. So congratulations on Howie Roseman on getting a good cornerback and and improving the Eagles secondary. The one downside I will say that earlier this week, the Browns and 25-year-old free agent tight end Austin Hooper agreed to terms on a 4-year contract that makes him the highest paid tight end in the NFL on a multi-year basis. You know, I'm sure Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle are watching that contract because if Austin Hooper is getting that, you can doggone well believe that those three guys are going to get well paid. And in terms of annual salary, his $10.5 million average is second among tight ends, just behind Hunter Henry on a franchise tag number at $10.6 million. But among long-term deals, Hooper is top. So Ertz did just turn down an extension that was just a tad more lucrative than this deal. So Zach Ertz is going to get paid. He's one of those guys that you can't allow to leave Philadelphia. So I think the Eagles would be best served in trying to get Ertz signed sooner rather than later because, like a quarterback's contract, they're only going to go up in value as we go along. So it would make sense for the Eagles to get that contract done sooner rather than later. So that will be something to watch for as we go along. And, let's see what we got going on as well. See if we got some more news going on here. Just checking Twitter. We talked about Tom Brady a little bit. I also want to get into the Tennessee Titans or the other NFL stories that are currently going on. And again, Jeff and I go into all these stories on our show Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on Fox Sports Radio 920 The Jersey. I want to get into the whole DeAndre Hopkins situation as it pertains to the Houston Texans. I can't believe that that the Houston Texans did not get multiple first-round picks or multiple a first and a second, or I can't believe the Texans did not get more for DeAndre Hopkins than what they got from him. DeAndre is one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the NFL. And for Houston to just get rid of him the way that they did is absolutely atrocious. And Bill O'Brien, that is a fireable offense what Bill O'Brien did. And my in my estimation, if I was the quarterback for the Houston Texans, I would immediately go into Bill O'Brien's office and say, trade me, because he is going to have more put on his shoulder now and this coming season and going forward than he had previously. All you had to do was put a ball into DeAndre Hopkins' zip code and he will catch it. and the Arizona Cardinals pounced, and kudos for them to doing it. They are going to be a much better team going forward. And you look at that division, I mean, I don't know who is going to win that division next year. You could say the 49ers, but the Arizona Cardinals with DeAndre Hopkins in there and Kingsbury and everything going forward that the Cardinals have, they're going to be a much better team this year than they were last year. They're going to make fewer mistakes. Hopkins is going to catch balls in his zip code. The quarterback doesn't have to throw him perfect balls for Hopkins to say it, and they're going to have a creative offense. You look at Seattle. Seattle is always there with Russell Wilson. So they're always going to be there. 49ers are right there. They were in the Super Bowl last year. So that division is, in my estimation, is up for grabs. It's going to be an exciting division to watch. And I would like to know, who do you think is going to win that division? But Bill O'Brien, and again, you look at the issue that got DeAndre Hopkins traded. Apparently, he and Bill O'Brien, again, had a conversation. There was an Aaron Hernandez reference possibly made during that meeting with Bill O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins, made by Bill O'Brien. Should never have been made. Totally wrong, totally an inappropriate comment. And that to me is a fireable offense. And I feel for the fans of the Houston Texans because I don't know. Bill O'Brien, given the GM role, was totally inappropriate, totally wrong. You need kind of a separation of church and state when, even if the GM has very little power and it's mostly the head coach, an extra person there to help the head coach along, to be there to guide the head coach, because you see it blowing up now with the Houston Texans. You saw it blow up a few years ago when Chip Kelly was granted the reins as head coach and GM. A head coach can have a certain degree of power, but you have to have a GM in place to assist the head coach, to point him in the right direction, to tell him when he's going down that wrong path. And Bill O'Brien is ripping apart the Houston Texans. And like I said, I would go in there and I would abandon ship. The same thing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. If I was a member of the Jags, I would go in there and I would want to get off the Jaguars ship as soon as possible. I know they're rebuilding, retooling, but I don't know how good the Jaguars are going to be this year. I don't think they're going to be a very good team. I like the quarterback of the Houston Texans, but with losing DeAndre Hopkins, you're putting more weight on his shoulders. I know he's good, but geez, oh man, I just don't, I just don't see it for the Houston Texans this year. I think they'll be okay, but you know, I just don't see it. We see Todd Gurley, as I said, signing a new contract today with the Arizona Cardinals. I think that's a good contract for both those guys. It's a 1-year deal, prove it deal. Gurley can come in and can show the NFL, can show the Atlanta Falcons how good he is. No physicals, though, as of yet. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly how good Todd Gurley's knee is. That's one of the reasons, and his contract was one of the reasons why Todd Gurley was let go by the Rams. They didn't want to pay him the amount of money that he was due. So that was the reason he was let go there. I like the deal from both teams. It's a 1-year deal. If Gurley comes back and does well, he can get a new contract with either the Falcons or another team, maybe make some more money. If he doesn't do well, then he's a backup for the rest of his career, and that's what he's going to be, or he retires or whatever. I don't think he'll retire. I think he'll be a backup on another team, but I think it's a good contract. They're not the Falcons aren't going out of the way to pay him an exorbitant amount of money, and they could get on a prove it deal. They could get a good running back, or at least a guy who can be part of a rotation. So We're going to cut this live stream a little bit short. As I said last week, pay attention to our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and right here on YouTube. Be doing a little more live streams as we go along. Pay attention to our show on Fox Sports Radio 920 The Jersey. Head over to sportskilletradio.com. Download our app. Like I said, thanks to Jeff Scott. I appreciate, Mike Nebbia and Joe Ippolito and Kelly and especially Jeff Scott for working with us to get our phone lines up and working. And we'll be back next Friday with another live stream or maybe sooner. Stay tuned. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you soon.
Hello. How are you? Good.